So I had been wanting to do a video on birth control because I don't know if that's where I want to start. Because I was just watching a movie and this person is like, "Oh, I came up with this." It's a fictional movie or whatever. Anyways, I came up with this like watch that measures the level of chemicals that are produced in your body, so that when you're meeting with someone, it will tell you like how attracted you are to them. And she's going about this and giving her little spiel about it, and she's like, yeah, emotions, they come and go and blah blah blah. And and the interviewer is like, well, what haven't that's like how we've people have found who to marry for forever, right? And she's like, well, that's actually why we have a 50% divorce rate now. And I just wanted to blurt out like, no, the reason we have a 50% divorce rate is because we took God out. But I felt kind of stopped, like that. Like on one hand, like that's anyways, I felt like stopped, like that wasn't the reason. And I'm like, okay, God, what is the reason? And I'm just saying what popped into my head is because birth control is it's because birth control. And I'm like, I mean, I can kind of see that. What happened back in the day? You dated people, even, and you didn't have a physical relationship. And when you base your who you're going to marry on who they are and not necessarily how they feel, that is a better basis of how long your marriage is going to last. I'm watching, and that's one of the things. Like I just had this crazy idea. I don't know how a while back ago. I was going to say a while back. It wasn't, anyways, a while back. That was like, you know what? In order to know for sure who I would want to marry, I'm like, I don't want to kiss until marriage. I don't think I even want to hold hands until marriage, because I don't want my basis of who I think is the right one just because, when I hold their hands, I feel good. When I kiss them, I feel good. Or I don't want them to like think they love me because somehow physical touch makes them feel good. Because that's, or something along those lines. And I thought I was like, that was like, that's really out there to think that. But then I started watching this TV show, and everyone on the TV show, other than maybe, I won't say how many, but pretty much everyone on their TV show is encouraged. Well, everyone is encouraged to save their kiss for marriage. And almost everyone did. And some of them even saved holding hands until marriage. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not the only one. And they also all wear, long skirts and dresses. They don't wear pants. They're modest. They're just great people, and they find great people. I just saw this short on YouTube. This woman came to a pastor. She's like, I seem to only, be attracted, not even attract, but be attracted to, not so good guys. Like, why is that? And the pastor is like, well, what do you watch on TV? What do you do? And what do you listen to and musically? And it's all these things that are basically programming her brain to be attracted to those things. And I thought that kind of made sense. Other than that, all those, anyways, I don't know where I was wanted to go with that, if that was even a place to go. But yeah, like that's, and that's what they do. And they don't date, and they're like friends first, and then they kind of move on to a quote dating kind of thing. They don't kiss. They keep it pure, and they want to make sure that they love the person based on who they are, not just because of whatever. And I thought that was a great idea. So what happens today is people are just go willy-nilly having sex with everyone. And like there's a person in high school I knew, she was adamant about sex. She's like, it is impossible to have a relationship without sex. And like, you can't even have a healthy relationship without sex. And I'm like, I don't know. Anyways, but that's not true. If that's the only thing that somehow makes you two close is because you all are having sex, that is quite legitimately why the divorce rate is 50%. And I want to talk about, I was going to say birth control. I don't know why abortion just wanted me to say abortion. I guess I will. I'll say abortion as well. Okay. Also, I do want to talk about abortion because that's probably another reason why the divorce rate is so high. Actually, no. Actually, kind of yes. Because they're basically the same thing. Is because what did people used to do? They dated someone, they wanted to make sure for certain this is the person they want to be with for the rest of their life before they have sex with them. But now we have birth control, we have abortion, so people are just getting willy-nilly having sex with anyone and then aborting it or trying to use birth control. They don't care if it's the one, they don't care if it's based on who they are and who you are to them. It comes into this something that's just even I don't know, this thing that's not good. I don't know how I'd want to say it if I have the words to say it, but it's almost, I don't know. I don't know where I want to go with it. But yeah, it's also abortion. That's probably also the reason why we have a 50% divorce rate. And when people are, that is the thing. People are dating and they start having, anyways, I want to get onto the topic of birth control because that's something that was on my mind. Because all of this stuff, it's not necessarily, I don't know. Anyways, I want to talk about birth control because I have firm convictions about God. I think, in the Bible, there was women who were barren until 80 years old. And then finally, God allowed them to have a kid. I have this belief, if God wants you to have a kid, you'll have a kid. And if you don't want to have a kid, and that's actually God's will for you not to have a kid, then you won't have a kid. You don't need birth control. And I heard that on the radio the other day. I don't know if I want to mention it, but it was a Christian woman. She had four kids. Might be five. I don't know. Let's just say 4 kids. I want to say 5. Let's just say 5 kids. I'm going to say 4 kids. I forget. Anyways, she had 4 kids, and then she went on birth control. She was like, we don't want any more kids. And then she actually had a kid on birth control, which is the other thing. It's like, if God wants you to have a kid, you're going to have a kid. Birth control, it's not 100% effective, but it kind of is effective. But anyways, besides the point, you don't need birth control. And I don't know. Anyways, like my thing is trust in God. Stuff happens. God wants it to happen. If it doesn't happen, God doesn't want it to happen. Like, that's my faith. You don't need birth control. And it seems like birth control and all that is just ruining the world, in fact. Women thinking they have to have sex with people, thinking they have to dress a certain way to attract people to have sex with them. And now men are now lusting over them, and now they got demons inside of them, and they're turned into all kinds of other sins, and they don't care about God. No one's caring about God, all because of birth control. Probably. I don't know. Throwing it out there. Throwing it out there. When did we start really, really moving away from God? I think it's something.